Good morning and welcome to the daily chapter reading of Some of It Was Real by Nan Fisher, chapter 9. Chris won't look at me. The only time she's subjected to her animal carrier is for a vet visit, and I haven't taken her for a long time. Now she's at Union Station in downtown LA after a stop and go Uber ride and the indignity of the bright pink carrier Annie gave me after she rehomed her leaky chihuahua. I drop my backpack and tote and sink onto a bench alongside the rails, balance the carrier on my knees, and reach in to scratch under Chris's chin until she grudgingly purrs. Half Siamese, half tabby, her long orange and white fur is matted in spots, thin in others, and she's lost more weight, hip bones clearly visible. The last thing she needs is a long train ride. I'm really sorry, I tell her. I tried to find a cat sitter, but it was late notice. My phone vibrates with the roar of a lion. It's Annie's ringtone. Hey, boss. I'm not going to change my mind, Annie says, all business. Sylvie called, and I'm waiting for her at the train station. You lovebirds running away together? Funny. If the journalism thing doesn't work out, you should be a stand-up comic. We're heading to her parents' home in High River, then on to Portland to spend some time before her next show. Annie whistles. You're serious? Unlimited access? We'll see. She laughs. I guess you did lay on the charm. Go get your story. Will do. Talk soon. I spy Sylvie walking toward me, gargantuan dog by her side. You brought your cat? She asks. I slide the carrier off my knees, then stand. You brought your dog? She pointedly looks at the green and yellow service jacket on Moose, then at Chris's pink carrier. When her beast steps close, Chris hisses. Call him back, I say. Sylvie snaps her fingers, and the dog returns to her side like a witch's minion. They're an arresting pair. Despite my very real fears, I recognize that Moose is a handsome creature. Gleaming black fur with a white patch on his broad chest, perked ears, perfect posture. Sylvie, dark hair in a low ponytail, dressed down in jeans, a white t-shirt, blue blazer, and Converse sneakers still draws every eye. Brakes squeal as the Amtrak Coast Starlight pulls into the station. Have you spoken to your parents? No. Surprise is the best tactic. Sylvie's expression is impossible to read. Care to elaborate? Nope. All aboard, an Amtrak employee shouts. What's your seat number? I ask. The sleeper cars were sold out. Sylvie chuckles. I got the last one. Come by after you find your seat. I hold out my hand. Your computer, tablet if you brought one, and a phone. Pardon? Rules of engagement. Her eyes twinkle. Is this a war? If you want to prove you're the real deal, then your agent and the internet are off the table. From a contact at Tix Mix, whom I gifted a case of wine, I know they send out the names of ticket holders to Sylvie's agent 2 days before her shows. I couldn't crack the other ticket vendors, but my guess is they follow a similar schedule. It's my turn to smile. She slides a laptop and iPad from her suitcase, gives them to me along with the phone from her purse. Hands on her slim hips, Sylvie asks, satisfied? No. I go through the suitcase, try to ignore underwear and bras. They're black and lacy. Check her purse too. She has about a dozen rolls of antacids between the bags. Maybe all the lies she tells to her audience have gotten to her. Want to frisk me next? I match her light tone. No thanks. Anything in your pockets? She pats them down. We good? How big is your sleeping compartment? There's genuine shock on her face. You want to share my room? If I leave you alone, you'll find a way to contact your agent, production team, or parents. Are you always this suspicious? Her smile is winsome. This is her version of psychological warfare. It's up to you. My expose is good to go. We can skip this if it's going to be a charade. My pulse quickens, but I do my best to hide that this is a massive bluff. Sylvie steps onto the train. All aboard, Doubting Thomas, she says over her shoulder. I follow her through a narrow corridor. Private compartments are tiny, with 2 seats facing each other, divided by slim tables. Why are you calling me that? Someone skipped Sunday school, she admonishes. Proud atheist. Doubting Thomas was one of the apostles. He missed the first time Jesus appeared after his crucifixion and wouldn't believe the other apostles until he saw the Son of God for himself. Jesus reappeared and Thomas became a believer. To which Jesus said, Thomas, because thou hast seen me, thou hast believed. Blessed are they that have not seen and yet have believed. I've read about your impressive memory. Is that a compliment? I shrug one shoulder. Sure. So are you comparing yourself to Jesus? She chuckles. Not a chance. I'm just pointing out that, like the Apostle Thomas, you don't have the ability to believe anything you can't touch. It's sad, really. Save your pity for the people you con. I mutter, uncertain why a crack about my lack of imagination rankles, annoyed that I let it show. We reach Sylvia's compartment. Thankfully, the sleepers are larger, but with her giant dog, 2 adults, and a cat, it'll be plenty tight. There's a blue vinyl couch along one wall, divided from a chair on the opposite wall by a rectangular table, a minuscule bathroom that converts into a shower wedged in a corner. At 6'4", there's no way I'd fit into that shower. The long window between the couch and the seat is table height and rises to wrap a few feet over the top of the sleeping compartment so passengers can see the sky. Sylvie closes the door, slides her bag under the couch, then sits. Moose hops onto the couch beside her. Seated, he still towers. I set Chris's carrier on the table, wedge my bag into the small spot left under the couch, fill her little litter box, slide it beside the toilet, then take the chair across from Sylvie. She makes a face at the litter box. What? It's not like Moose won't need to relieve himself at some point. And when he does, he'll let me know and wait for the next station stop. Sylvie folds her hands over one knee. So, here we are. Let's start with an easy question to crack the ice. Why Christopher Robin? I play along. Obviously, Winnie the Pooh. Sometimes the smallest things take up the most room in your heart. I'm not surprised Sylvie can quote a popular children's book. Still, there's a wistful look on her face. My guess is that what most con artists who've been caught probably wish they could return to simpler times. What about that Wonderland quote? I dismiss it. That's what these people do. Throw out cultural touchstones to hook their prey. Sylvie nods at Chris. Are you planning to leave her in there for 18 hours? Moose's eyes are glued to the pink carrier like he's waiting for his next meal to step out of it. His jaws are big enough to wrap around Chris's entire body. He could snap her neck with one shake of his giant head. How can I get you to write nice things in your article if my dog kills your ancient cat? Sylvie asks. She's not that old. Sylvie's eyebrows rise a fraction. It'll be okay. Promise, let her out. The train lurches. We roll out of the station. There's not much choice, so I unzip the carrier. Chris climbs out, pads across the table, sits in front of the window, watches the buildings slide by. Moose silently puts 2 paws on the floor. Did you really get her as a kitten? I don't take my eyes off Cujo. Yeah, but from a local shelter. You lied to me about your cat too? Where's your journalistic integrity? I grunt. If she's trying to compare a lie about the provenance of my cat to bilking money from people who can't afford to lose it, clearly I'm on the right side of the line. Moose now has 4 feet on the floor. Call him back. Sylvie ignores me. Moose creeps forward. Chris spins like she has eyes in the back of her head, one paw raised to strike. My mother had her declawed as a kitten. Maybe that's why the dog doesn't blink. I prepare to get mauled. Moose edges nearer until their noses almost touch, then backs away like he and Christopher Robin have reached a silent agreement. Chris walks to the far side of the table, the sharp bones of her hips painfully visible, and drops onto Sylvie's lap, curls into a ball. I let out the breath I've been holding. You okay? Sylvie asks with a little smile. I'm fine. She runs light fingers along Chris's bony back, and my cat, typically dismissive of strangers, actually purrs. Animals like me, Sylvie says, so I can't be that bad, right? I push record on my phone. Tell me about your childhood.